Yeah, but there's always that pressure comes when you are the main man. Listen, Messi and Ronaldo, when the pressure comes with that, and that can sometimes lead to whatever fatigue because you're constantly looking at it. But yeah, Kane obviously has to have that experience now, and maybe he's learned a lot more from playing for Bayern and playing the big Champions League games where you go, you know, be smart enough with your position. Even the goal there, New Zealand lots of players back, but he's just wandered in there. Just that experience, and it's amazing they gave him so much space. But with that experience, he's got to be sensible with it. We're talking about the conditions. He doesn't need to become back beyond his own half, trying to spray balls in. No, there's enough players who can do that. They have enough quality. You get yourself in there. You're the best in the world at this moment in time. And again, if England want to win the big trophy.
Yes, you'd imagine the Arsenal players will be available for selection on Wednesday night. Let's get Ian Wright's assessment of the performance then. He's pitch side with Gabriel now.
Ian, these England fans don't stop.
I know.
It still was a wonderful atmosphere here today in the stadium. I'm wondering what you made, obviously, of the performance.
No. I thought the fans, they've got to get a lot of credit, you know what I mean? 26,000 of them here to come and watch us play this friendly game. But I thought, obviously, the first half was always going to be a little bit like just testing it out, see how it felt.
It was a lot hotter then as well.
It felt like it was a lot hot. But the second half, I thought we just had a lot more ball players. More people wanted to get on the ball, more people wanted to get the ball forward. There was a lot more movement up front in respect of even Ivan Toney just being a focal point. I thought he was really good. He made a good free kick for us there, could have had a penalty for us just by being in that area and having the players to play into him and him trying to keep hold of it. Obviously, I thought Rio was fantastic, just trying to take people on. But I thought in the grand scheme of things here, no injuries, everybody looked pretty sharp, pretty cool, and they just eased into a game which they should ease into.
Yeah, Harry Kane says he's going into a tournament. He's never felt better going into a tournament.
Was
he
he
dropped
67?
deep, 67 goals. He dropped deep, and maybe that might be the role. Do you think that might be the role he plays in this World Cup more?
Yeah, but we know that he's going to do that. And the main thing with Harry is that Harry can drop deep. People will go beyond him, but you know,
there are the runners as well now in the team.
We've got runners in the team, but the main thing with Harry is that Harry will be there to score that goal like we did today. So we can say whatever we want about it. A few years ago, people were saying, oh, he's too deep, he's not getting in the box enough. But when it comes down to it, Harry Kane's in the right place to be, and we win today 1-0, and Harry Kane's the one who scores the goal. But when he drops off, his playmaking and his ability to pass it into people is brilliant.
Jude Bellingham, in terms of the heat, said it will be about managing the game. But that's the lesson they've learned.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what? We've got enough experience and enough quality players playing at top clubs to know how to manage games now. So obviously, you know, you wanted to see a little bit more from New Zealand to see if they could give us a bit more of a test, but that's not really what this is about. This is about getting through it, playing in this heat, getting used to this heat. And you know, I thought, like, again, the second half really good, the way we passed the ball about.
England are off to Orlando, you're off to New York.
I'm going to New York, baby. It's up to me. New York, baby.
See you in New York, baby, this Wednesday. That's really interesting about Harry Kane, because I think occasionally you two don't want him. Listen, when he drops deep, he's a fabulous passer of the ball.
Yeah.
But do England want him to stay further up the pitch?
I do, and look, I get what Ian's saying, and he's not wrong. But when he drops deeper, we've got players that can do that. And also, when we're managing the heat and the climate, why, Harry, waste your energy? You've scored 67 goals this season. Nobody else can do what you do. We've seen that tonight with Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney. You're the main guy, so we give him the service in the right areas. We're going to progress. I don't want Harry Kane coming deep because there's no other player that can make those runs and do what he does.
Yeah,
well, there might be other people who can make the runs, but will they be as clinical in front of goal? Isn't that the question?
Yeah, of course. And again, the whole argument, you don't mind him dropping him because he does have that range of pass when he does drop, but not getting it off the back four. He's done that. We saw there was a clip he'd done it in the first half today. Maybe that was just a bit of boredom. But come to crunch games, if Harry Kane's getting off the back four, imagine you're a defender and you see Harry Kane getting off you're delighted. It's further up to pitch where he causes problems, and even dropping in then, but not getting off the back four. That is.
Well, particularly on this heat, we've been talking about how hard it is to make those runs.
There's no way the manager will be wanting to do that, and I don't think he'll be do it when the proper game starts today. And he's done it previously, but as he's getting a bit older, a bit more experience, do not be getting the ball off the back four. To me, that is ridiculous.
There have been some really good squad announcements globally. I mean, the French were very funny. Uruguay ended up with Marcelo Bielsa on a bicycle. Have you seen Norway's?
I have, yeah.
I mean, it's a still.
I mean, this is Haaland, though, isn't it?
There it is. Extrapolate that across what the Norwegians
He looks
did.
happy, doesn't he? Yeah.
Right.
I think that was tremendous, wasn't it? That was very, very entertaining. He was alongside Odegaard and so forth. Right, we're getting to that point. Everybody who stops and asking you two who's going to win. Everyone say, my friends, who's going to win? Who's winning the World Cup, Karen Carney?
Hopefully England, but
Yeah.
I think France.
Betting without England, as the bookmakers say.
Yeah, I'd say France. Just because of the attacking lineup they've got, the 1v1 individuals, the attacking players they've got. I think that's where that they will edge it with them, those players.
Barcola, Doué, Dembele,
Elise.
Mbappe, Elise.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ekitike is injured. That's amazing.
Can we pick more than one, or you just want one?
Oh, just one. Make a decision, Roy Keane.
France or Argentina?
Argentina. I mean, France for obvious reasons. Argentina.
I think Argentina. Yeah. Do you know what? France, brilliant. Again, we're talking about the strength and depth. I know Messi's pushing on a bit now, but the interview the manager was quoted a few weeks ago, the Argentina manager, about, are you going off to win the World Cup? He went,
Yeah.
no, we're going off to retain it.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are hungry. A lot of players playing for the big clubs once again. A bit of magic. A lot of leaders in their pack. Experience. Yeah. Argentina or France?
Argentina or France, that well-known country. Thank you. See you in the States. Thank you.
We have to also... First of all, I'm happy that no one is injured, and we had 4 good training sessions, and we had now this split game for everyone, 45 minutes in the heat on a very difficult pitch, I have to say. It was not easy, but so everyone is fit. We have a win, we have a clean sheet, and from there we can keep on going. The energy is right, and the quality will come. I think the better the opponent gets, the better we will get, and yeah, it was like try to score and score like these games sometimes look. And
I know you wanted intensity. Would it be fair to say that there wasn't that intensity? England weren't flat out.
I was more happy with the second half. I think we had more hunger, more grit, and more desire in the second half. Played better, but we didn't score. So Harry scored our only goal in the first half. I think we were not so disciplined in our positions and didn't play according to our plan in the first half. That slowed our game actually down. Second half was better, but we didn't score. But like overall, like I said, like to put it into context, a lot of the players were last time with us in November, and they missed March camp, so it's quite a long time. It's the first game after the season, and it's all good.
You saw them all out there. Who stood out? You saw them all playing. Who stood out to you?
I liked the second half, like I said, and of course Harry scored. That's what he does, but it's not about individual praises in front of TV.
No. And in terms of the way in which you now look to Orlando, it's 11 days to the first game. How much more conditioning do you hope to get? How much more acclimatized do you need to get?
Yeah, we will get with the time that we are out here. We will expose to the heat and humidity and the sun. That's why we are here. So now the overall the most positive thing is we can keep on training with the whole group because no one is injured. We have no complaints. So tomorrow will be recovery day. Then we have 2 days to prepare Costa Rica. Then a chunk of players will be more minutes. We'll get more minutes.
The Arsenal players in?
The Arsenal players are in from today, which is good, gives us energy and gives us quality, and then we have another 1.5 days off, and then we go to Kansas and prepare Croatia.
To be honest, it's really hard to play the way that we want to play, but this is why we're here, you know, to adapt to it. We're playing against a team who had a good low block. In the end, we probably could have scored a couple more, but we take the win, and we know we're here for preparation more than the result.
Yeah, Jude, what have you learnt maybe about the way that England can play at this tournament with that heat?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to manage the game well at times. You know, we want to play kind of that full force, high pressing, you know, high tempo football. It's going to be difficult in the heat and with the pitches. But I think we adjusted well in both halves. All sets of players made a great effort to kind of get out of the game what we had to do before the tournament. So yeah, we're pleased.
Are you going into this tournament as well as you've ever felt? Going into a tournament?
We spoke before the tournament after the cup final a couple of weeks ago. You know, I think physically, mentally, it's the best shape I've been in my career. So yeah, we're going into a tough environment, a tough tournament, and yeah, no, I'm excited for it. The World Cup is the biggest tournament of all, and yeah, just can't wait for it to get started, really.
And Jude, your own feeling going into this tournament?
Yeah, feeling good. Probably a bit of a different way to go into it to H, but yeah, I'm feeling good off the back of a tough
Germany's last 9 games, they have won all 9 of them. That's 9 consecutive wins on their way into the 2026 World Cup. It may have been back-to-back group stage exits in the last 2 World Cups, but they are hitting momentum at the right time under Julian Nagelsmann. And today, their 2-1 win over the USA is another one to add to the list. Jürgen Klinsmann joining us now. What to make of them today, Jürgen? Germany.
Well, I think, you know, a lot of good stuff coming out of that game today. Obviously, you travel over to Chicago. You came in from Europe, and you need to settle a moment into the new environment, and now getting close to the opening game in the World Cup. Their situation definitely a lot different to the US situation, because their first game should be a very, very easy one against Curaçao next week. So they looked at it in a different way to this game than the US team. I think what was important is to see Oliver Baumann replacing again Manuel Neuer, which is expected to start then the World Cup for the German side next week. But now I think, you know, with his performance today, which was very positive, a couple of good saves, you know, it gives everybody the feeling, okay, if Manuel Neuer doesn't make it for the first game, it's no problem, because Oliver Baumann is a very, very, very good goalkeeper. Then a couple of other question marks that they have certainly is the left back with Brown. Is he the one that starts instead of Raum, the other player? And then obviously we wanted to all see Sané on the right wing. And with Sané, this is a back and forth a bit, you know, in the German national team now for quite some time, because everybody is admiring his talent and his capabilities. He's so gifted, but he never shows that really on a consistent basis. So everybody was curious, and I think, you know, he started the game exactly that way. The first half an hour, you know, he had some good moments and he had some bad moments, but the fact that he then scored the second goal means obviously the world to that kid. So, you know, he hopes now to get maybe closer to a starting spot in that German side after they lost Leonard Karl with injury. So there's a lot of good things, a couple of negative things as well. But I think the German team is well prepared. And obviously in Germany, the expectations are very high. There's no doubt, you know, after the 2 disasters in the 2 previous World Cups in Russia and in Qatar, where they both times they lost in the group stage, basically. It is expected that the German side at least goes into the semi-final. Anything else than a semi-final would be a huge disappointment. And when they get to the semi-finals, obviously that's the German culture. Then they expect to win the tournament. So, yeah, it's gonna be a long path for that German team. But I think they have a lot of talent.
Do you think this is a team, Stevie, that can make the semi-finals?
Oh, I don't know about that. I was really disappointed in them. I really was, and I kind of forgot, you know, Jürgen was talking about how they've just arrived in the country and the heat and the whole thing. But at the same time, with that talent, particularly in the heat, I expected them to be way better with the ball.
Against the hosts? In the home nation for the hosts?
Aye, absolutely. You know, the best teams, that's what they do. And in circumstances where you're against the home team and it is hot, I expected them to keep the ball way better than they did. And certainly they didn't get the ball to Wirtz and Musiala enough times. I was disappointed in Sané. And the one thing I really don't like about this German team is when he plays Kimmich at right back. I'm sorry, he's anybody who's running at Kimmich is going to skin him. He doesn't have the legs to play full back. Now, if Germany are going to dominate teams possession-wise, then Kimmich is fine at right back. But when he has a one-on-one situation, I'm sorry, he looks petrified to me. So I was really disappointed in Germany.
What do you think of Kimmich's position and what Stevie's saying, Jürgen?
No, Stevie's point is a good one, because it's an ongoing discussion, you know, since years with Joshua Kimmich. You know, the moment he gets forced into the right back position, it's not his favorite one, and he makes it also very clear in interviews. But there is no better than him in that position right now in Germany. I remember in 2014, Joachim Löw, you know, for winning the World Cup then in Brazil, he decided towards the end of the tournament to go with 4 center backs. Left back and right back were center backs. He said, you know, let's just, you know, lock it all in there. Let's make sure that nobody passes them and defend well, and then we'll see what happens up front. Obviously now they have a new way in the defensive midfield with Mecha and with Pavlovic. So they trying to find kind of each other. They try to form a partnership in the defensive midfield, because they need to basically cover the shoulders of Florian Wirtz and Musiala, and today it was Sané on the right wing, and then they're playing with a floater up front, a false number 9 with Kai Havertz, which turns out to be working for right now. But no, Steve has a point. Joshua Kimmich on the right back is always a discussion point in Germany. He would love to play the 6, just purely the 6. That is his favorite role. But there is no better right back at the moment. So it will be interesting to see, the longer the tournament goes, how this position will be used.
Is semi-finals such a push for Germany when you see this team, Shaka?
I share the concerns. Not just with Joshua Kimmich at right back, but difficult day maybe to pick on Kai Havertz, given that he scored so early on against the US and coming off the back of his domestic season with Arsenal. But Germany have just lacked that out-and-out number 9 that I think a semi-finalist needs. Somebody who you can rely on, having that striker's instinct. Kai Havertz is an incredible footballer, but for me, not a natural number 9, not at the level that you expect from a World Cup semi-finalist. As a result, I still have my doubts.
Jürgen, what's your thoughts on Dennis Undav in this whole situation?
No, I mean, it's a great discussion to have, because the number 9 in Germany is a big deal, obviously, because in the past there were great number 9s, and the sporting director of that German national team next to Julian Nagelsmann is Rudi Völler, no other than Rudi Völler, one of the biggest players we ever had in history as a number 9. Julian Nagelsmann, he likes the thought about a false number 9. He likes a little bit the Spanish style of approaching things. And Kai Havertz is a good false number 9. There's no doubt. He scores his goals. He's playing in the Premier League. He's playing for Arsenal. Won the Premier League this year, and he gets a lot of credit for doing all that. Dennis Undav, he proved his point with Stuttgart the entire season. He scores his goal. He's a real number 9. He's hungry. He's a box player. He holds the ball. He's a fighter. He's nasty. He's attacking the back lines of the opponents. And as a hard worker. And then obviously there's another kid that just a year ago went from Germany into Newcastle with Moltemade, who has a lot of talent, brings other kind of qualities into that game. But it is a critical position right now to be discussed in the German side. They are not sure what is the right role. I mean, you have to accommodate in a certain way Florian Wirtz coming from the left wing, Musiala coming through the middle. Musiala is not back at the same level yet as he had before his really horrible injury a year ago in the Club World Cup against Paris Saint-Germain. And so, there are quite some question marks. And is it working out with the double 6 as we saw today? It was kind of okay, but nothing now kind of world class. Therefore, but it's still, I mean, even if you have all these question marks, even if you can discuss it up and down the German side, the expectations are at least semi-final. You're not getting around that. You cannot discuss football in Germany, the expectations for a World Cup, and talk about round of 16 or quarterfinals. We would never accept that type of a discussion. For us, in our upbringing, our culture, you go to the World Cup, no matter how the team looks like, no matter who the individual names are, you expect to go to the end. And if you go home early, and if it's a quarterfinal, they would go home early with a quarterfinal. For us, it's a huge disappointment. And especially after what happened the last 2 World Cups, this team is with their backs against the wall, no matter what. And that's why, it's better to be so quite direct and upfront with that discussion than to choose already kind of some excuses before you actually go into the tournament. The group is a very tricky one. With the Ivory Coast, they just beat France in a friendly game, which is a friendly game. We all know that, what the friendly game is when they sub, 10 players after minute 60. But they beat France. It's a very